Welcome to Wichita, Kansas, on the campus of Newman University. You're watching Nike EYBL Scholastic at the Air Capital Hoopfest. Hello, everybody. Good Saturday to you. My name is Steve Strain, along with Denning Garrick. We've got another doubleheader here from Wichita this afternoon, and our first game features Compass from Arizona and Veritas. And Denning, as we look at these two teams, Compass yesterday, we saw that swarming defense in an impressive 17-point victory over Link. Today they're going to take on a Veritas team that has trouble finding points to begin with. That challenge could be doubly tough this afternoon.
Steve, I was super impressed with what I saw from Arizona Compass on the defensive end. It all starts on the perimeter. The House brothers, Kalik and Caden, they cause all kinds of problems just trying to create penetration. And if you do make it past the perimeter, there's all these shot blockers, all this length on the interior. Every dribble, every pass, every shot is contested against them.
And if Veritas is to have success today offensively, they're going to certainly rely on Aram Soki Urbano, who scored 21 points yesterday, a three-point marksman. You definitely know that Compass will have to keep some eyes on him.
21 points is impressive. That's in the context of a team that scored 44. So nearly half of the points that Veritas put on the board yesterday, courtesy of Mr. Soki Urbano. I was super impressed with his shot making. He did not need a lot of space to get his shot away and really carried the Veritas offense for long stretches yesterday.
All right, it's the first of two again from Wichita. Our nightcap will have the host school, the Sunrise Christian Academy, taking on the Link Academy. Sunrise was victorious over this Veritas team yesterday. So that game will start at about 6 o'clock this evening. Well, there you see the Veritas team going over some last-minute discussions, and there is a guy, Mika Murin and Denning, that we talk so much about, highly touted player. He's going to have his pick of literally any top university in Division I he wants to go to. After all of that discussion yesterday, he only scored 4 points. Had some early issues with foul trouble, got a little fluster from some of the defense that he was facing against Link, and just a very quiet day, so we would expect him to turn it around today.
Murin had 4 turnovers in limited minutes yesterday for Arizona Compass. They threw a bunch of different matchups, Link did, at him, threw multiple defenders at him sometimes with double teams, and just took him out of the game. But thankfully for the Dragons, Kalik and Caden House were more than able to pick up the slack. Those two combined for 33 points to lead Compass.
Compass is 4-6 on the season after yesterday's win. Veritas is 3-5. So Veritas will try to salvage one of the 2 games in this Air Capital Hoop Fest, while Compass will try and make it a clean sweep if they can be successful here this afternoon. Well, we talked about the House brothers, Denning, and man, just so impressed with what they did at both ends of the floor. Scoring, but their defense, wow, we knew they were good players coming in, but our first chance looking at them up close, and man, did they impress.
I think it was just versatility that stood out to me. I knew coming into this game both these guys could score. You don't make it to this level and play for a team like this without being able to put the ball in the basket. So, you figured the shooting would be on display. You figured their ability to get to the basket. But their energy and their effort level on the defensive end, they guarded multiple positions. They did everything that you would want from a winning basketball player, and you can see why they're both very highly recruited kids.
We had a good look moments ago at Aram Soki Urbano, and one of the things that impressed us was his ability to catch and shoot so quickly. He'll have to do that today.
He gets his shot off in a phone booth, Steve. And it's like a small phone booth, too, not even a particularly spacious one. But expect him to be drawing most of the attention from Arizona Compass. Nobody else for Veritas really put points on the board. The Titans are going to need Juan Guerrero Hernandez to put up a big game for them to have a chance here this afternoon.
All right, here we go. Compass will control the basketball first in their road green jerseys. Veritas is in the white and red. And it's going to be Jeremiah Green running the point for Compass, and they turn it over. So a good start for Veritas. Now, can they capitalize? Compass again at 4-6. Veritas at 3-5 after yesterday's action. Veritas trying to find some space out on the perimeter. Now, A dribble toward the top of the key by Ryan Solhe, and it's taken away. Urbano tried to steal, and a foul going to be called on Veritas. There you see that aggressive defense out on the perimeter that we talked about.
Well, and Steve, we knew coming into the game yesterday that Veritas was a team that's still kind of looking for a point guard. Ryan Solhe initiates a lot of the offense for them, but I don't know if he really profiles at that spot. So they are still searching for someone who can create offense for them to get them into the right sets in the right place.
A drive by House. That shot's short. Miranin tried to corral the rebound. Might have gotten fouled on his way back up. And can't hit on the next one either. And a rebound for Veritas, and they'll push it the other way. Urbano. Shot was partially blocked by Jeremiah Green. Here comes Compass.
That was a good contest from Green to stay vertical on Urbano and got enough of that basketball to force it short.
So we were scoreless just about 90 seconds in. Compass averages 54 points per game. Veritas 52. Those two in the bottom four of the EYBL. And we stay scoreless as Urbano misses. And now here's Miranin. And Urbano was hounding him at the other end of the floor.
Well, you can see Miranin coming down the floor. He recognizes very quickly, I've got like 7 inches of an advantage against this smaller defender, so he posted up very quickly. Soki Urbano doing everything he could to deny the basketball, but just a little too much contact there and draws the foul.
Jeremiah Green to Miranin. He'll fire from the outside and short. House flying in for the rebound and fouled from behind. Boy, that's just activity right there by Caden House to draw the foul.
Winning plays, Steve. We talked about it just a minute ago, but look at that. He's starting from beyond the three-point arc in the corner, and there's nobody checks him out. Makes it all the way into the painted area, and eventually is going to get 2 free throws out of it.
Caden House was our player of the game in Compass's win over Link yesterday for doing it all, and he knocks down the first free throw. Starting the weekend, this is an area where he's actually struggled a bit, Denning, starting the weekend at 61% from the stripe, but 1 for 1 there.
And he got there a lot yesterday. He was 9 for 12 from the free throw line as part of his 19 points. And when he wasn't fouled, he was pretty good too. 5 for 10 from the floor in a game that was a little ragged offensively on both ends. So he was one of the few guys who was consistently making shots.
There were a lot of combined free throws in that Compass Link game yesterday. Shot clock winding down again. That's the theme for this defensive Compass, no matter who the opponent is. Now here's Guerrero Hernandez, and that's going to be what I thought would be a shot clock violation. Might have grazed the bottom of the rim. Nonetheless, here comes Compass.
Jeremiah Green has put together some very good defensive possessions for the Dragons. He's had 2 late shot clock contests that have caused problems.
Yeah, a guy that only scored 5 points in 22 minutes yesterday, but they don't need him to score, just to distribute and play some defense, and he does both of those very well. Lob underneath, and nearly 3 minutes into the game before the first points for Veritas, Kofi Asare scores, and we are tied at 2.
That was a good adjustment from Kofi Asare. That ball was thrown a little bit short of the rim, so he had to hang in the air, catch it, and adjust his body to put it in.
Green up top to Miranin. Now here comes House into the lane. Out to the left wing. Vance for 3, and he buries it. We did not talk enough yesterday, I thought, about Jaden Vance because of the House brothers. Vance yesterday, Denning, 12 points, 5 boards, and knocked down both of his 3-pointers.
6'6" senior from Hurricane, Utah, and does a little bit of everything for this Compass team. I think defense is really his strong suit with his length and athleticism.
Mid-range miss, and that's 2 players on the same team fighting for the ball. And it's Caden House that
he wanted that board. He was fighting for it. Unfortunately, he was fighting with somebody wearing the same jersey as him.
One more note about Jaden Vance Denning. He is now 5 for 5 from distance in EYBL games this season. Perfect.
Oh, great dish right there, and Miranin with the finish.
Leaves the basket shaking underneath. 7-2 now. A quick 5-0 run for Veritas for Compass, and a timeout on the floor called by Veritas. They've got to stop the bleeding. We've played a little more than 4 minutes from Wichita in game 1 of our doubleheader. Compass 7, Veritas 2. You're watching EYBL Scholastic at the Air Capital Hoopfest.
Sure, I was the first pick, the rookie to watch, and the back-to-back All-Star. But to get even better, I had to get real with myself. I got real about how I showed up. I got real about how I trained. I got real about what I ate. The results, something about this season, man, it just feels different.
Nike EYBL Scholastic is brought to you by Nike. This is Winning Basketball. And delivered by Chipotle. Real ingredients, real flavor, Chipotle for real. 4 minutes and 2 seconds into this one. Compass 7, Veritas 2. And Veritas, Denning, we saw some really extraordinary scoring droughts yesterday from them, particularly late in the first quarter on through the second. They're in one now. It's been a minute since they've scored.
Well, where do you go for scoring outside of Aramsoki Urbano? They just haven't had a second option who can emerge for them.
And so he tries to come up with some points, misses on the catch and shoot, foul on the rebound. What a collision. Hopefully Caden House is okay. Looks like he is.
There was 2 bodies and a basketball all arriving at the same time right here. And that's a brutal one for Caden House. It is a foul if he's second to the basketball as Mina got there just ahead of him, but then you end up wearing a shoulder in the chest and getting a foul.
Open in the corner and a shot deflection by Vance, but then a rebound for Veritas and they finish it off.
And back the other way, House. He's not wasting any time.
What a quick answer for Compass. After a made field goal for Veritas, Compass sprints the other way. House gets the hoop in the arm. He'll go to the line for a chance for a three-point play.
He is relentless in transition, really forces the issue, but does so in a way that's under control. He never feels like he is attacking in a way where he's just wild with the basketball. He has good body control, especially when he's in the air. And to be able to finish through the contact there is pretty impressive for this young man.
How about the hustle from Mania? He was the one that made the basket at one and hustled the entire length of the floor to try to play defense at the other. Didn't work out well for him, but credit him for the hustle. 10-4, Compass. Juan Guerrero Hernandez, second leading scorer for Veritas, loses it. And here comes Compass the other way. Kayla House. Lost it and gets it back. Now down to the baseline. A guy we saw yesterday impress, Nicholas Randall, misses mid-range.
He was very efficient yesterday, Steve, and shot almost everything within about a foot of the basket.
All 7 of his points came at the free throw line, but he made his presence known in other ways as well as a driving layup is good for Compass. And that was Jeremiah Green, and it's an 8-point Compass lead.
And Jaden Vance's defense is making an impact. He's got a block and a steal over the last 3 possessions.
Solhi up high, guarded by Randall. A quickness mismatch there, but Randall using his size, getting hands in his face, and now a driving finger roll up and good. Guerrero Hernandez, and count it with a foul.
Well, Guerrero Hernandez was not shooting it well yesterday, Steve, so would like to see him do a little bit more of this. That's a great cut off the ball with his defender doing a little bit of ball watching. A little back cut, got him some space. Nice bounce pass right into the path, and he's able to finish +1.
He started play yesterday averaging 12 points per game, but held to half of that by Sunrise. And a chance here to get a three-point play, and he does not. In and out, no good. 2 minutes to go, first quarter. Compass by 6. They've doubled up Veritas, 12-6. Kayla House leaves it now for Vance. Lost it down on the baseline. Back to House. Splits defenders high off the glass. No good. He worked really hard just to get that shot up, and now in transition.
Oh my.
A little sloppy.
Asari handling the basketball in an area where he is not used to doing it.
Urbano, the runner, no good off the window. Rebound Compass. Here they come the other way.
Looks like Compass wants to slow it down for the first time here and run some kind of a set. This has been a largely up and down game in the early going.
Asari blocks a pass. Caden House recovers. Teardrop mid-range, no good. And how about Guerrero Hernandez skying for the board?
Well, he's a good rebounding guard at 6'5". He can get up there.
Long three-pointer up and no good by Emilis Zabuda from Lithuania. And Compass the rebound. Final 45 seconds of the first quarter. Compass still on top 12-6.
Spacing a little off right now for Compass. They've had multiple cutters going to the same spot on the floor.
Nice stutter step. And a move to the basket. That was Jaden Williford that made a nice move to the basket. Now he's got, Isaiah Richardson.
Well, the thing about all of these teams here, Steve, is that the caliber of athletes they've got, whenever it's late shot clock, whenever a play kind of breaks down, you can set up something where it's just a high ball screen or let someone create and let them get downhill where you can really emphasize their strengths. So that wasn't great offense from Arizona Compass. They were looking around with 10 on the shot clock and not a whole lot had happened there on that side of the floor, but they still have the players who are capable of creating their own shot or getting to the free throw line.
So Zaire Richardson, a senior out of Cleveland, misses the first free throw. Talking about scoring droughts yesterday for Veritas Denning, they had 10 points late in the first quarter, and they did not get their next points until the buzzer at the end of the second quarter.
27-0 run for Sunrise against them, and it was hard to determine if the offense or the defense was what was struggling more for the Titans, but they are at least hanging around in this ball game in the early going here. It's just a struggle for them on the offensive end.
More than 8 minutes without a point for Veritas yesterday. 3 seconds separate the game clock and the shot clock. Zabuda's got it up high, and he finds a cutter underneath. There's Guerrero Hernandez, off to a better start for sure. He's already up to 5.
It's been a lot more mobile off the basketball, Steve. I like to see it from Guerrero Hernandez. Not just standing out front, asking for the basketball. He's moving around, making himself available.
Nice fadeaway by Green, and that'll do it for the first quarter. So a 15-8 start for Compass. We are 8 minutes in from Wichita. And we'll have quarter number 2 coming up in a moment. You're watching Nike EYBL Scholastic at the Air Capital Hoopfest.
So how would you describe the chicken to someone who had never tasted it?
Literally melt in your mouth tender. We don't have a freezer, It's almost like a farmer's market. When you walk into the restaurant, you should hear the sizzle that you're hearing right now. Just sends all those waves up to your mouth.
You're making me hungry.
I will have no regrets. All the things that went wrong. For I have
learned. Brisket is back at Chipotle. Seasoned, smoked, seared, spiced, sauced, bold, and guacced. It's a whole new kind of brisket done the Chipotle way.
15-8 Compass after one quarter, and it's time now to take a look at today's Chipotle Player Spotlight. And today we will feature Juan Guerrero Hernandez of Veritas. And Denning, this, I have to admit, is my favorite one of the weekend. He goes with the bowl with white rice, steak, and chicken. lettuce, queso, pico, and a little guac, but you got to respect a guy that goes with not one, but 2 different proteins.
I like that, Steve, but I like a little guac more. It's the distinction that is important here. When you order in person and you get the right service, you say a little guac and it's just the perfect amount, that is what takes your bowl to the next level. So really well done from Juan Guerrero Hernandez. I'm also a big fan of his game. As you can see, he's getting some high major offers that have started to come in. 6'5" shooting guard. He did not shoot it well yesterday, but he's been a little bit more active, cutting without the basketball today, and has a couple of bucks to show for it.
He might well have had a little guac last night that fueled him for today.
You never know. You never know.
Muirnen back into the game to start the second quarter. 2 points in the first quarter, just 4 all day yesterday. It's just, I think, a ticking time bomb for him, though, before he gets going. All right, can Veritas make some adjustments, particularly at this end of the floor? They'll work it underneath the Guerrero, and he lays it up and in. Juan Guerrero Hernandez, 6 points already, Denning. That matches his entire output from yesterday.
Great find as well from Samuel Mena. I have no idea how that pass got through. There was about 6 arms that it had to navigate, but an excellent feed nonetheless, and Guerrero Hernandez did the rest.
Jeremiah Green left of the key. Now with the timer winding down, they'll work it over to the right side. Devance driving in, runner no good. Good defense that time by Veritas, and here comes Veritas offensively now. And Guerrero Hernandez out to the wing to Urbano. Those 2 playing catch.
I mean, it all starts on the perimeter for Veritas. That's where like 90% of their scoring is, but they still have to get the ball into the paint just to create those opportunities on the perimeter.
They did that.
Got rejected that time.
They did get it to the paint there, but Muirnen had something to say about that. Now Compass will slow it down some. Shot clock down to 5. To the right wing, Green. A long 3, rattles in and out, no good. Well, he had that one halfway down.
Everything but the bottom there for Green, who stepped into it with a lot of confidence.
Open, left corner 3 is no good by Zabuda. Rebound for Compass. Expected this game to be in the 50s. At this pace, we might not even get there. Muirnen posting up with a left hand is short. And Zabuda comes down with a rebound. Good defense inside by Veritas. Now Guerrero Hernandez spins one off the glass. It's no good.
Wow, a lot of contact there. Definitely could have seen that going as a foul on this end. It was a pretty good wall-up from Mohamed Bamad against a player that he was giving up a couple inches to down low, but he stayed vertical against Muirnen. Good contest.
Now Compass is going to have to scramble. The ball was deflected, so it goes back court, and it's still Compass ball. Shot clock's underneath 5 again, and a reverse layup is good. Underneath by Vontae Sanders. Senior out of Sherman, Texas, lays it in. Or excuse me, that was Richardson. Zabuda, a little teardrop on the baseline.
Nice floater. There was the 6'11" Muirnen coming over with some high hands, so that had to have a lot of arc on it to get over and down, and really well done from Zabuda.
Green up top to Richardson. Richardson outsized, so he gets rid of it. Boy, every time, Denning, the shot clock for Compass is winding down under 5, and it does again, and they turn it over.
Yeah, they are getting deep into the shot clock, and the offense just has not really materialized for them. They've managed to make something happen a couple of times with 3-2-1, but for the most part, it's been a struggle.
Muirnen tries to swat at one, whips, but comes down with a rebound. That's taking a page, though, as a timeout's been called. We'll touch on this after a timeout. 4:13 left, second quarter. Compass 17, Veritas 12. You're watching Nike EYBL Scholastic at the Air Capital Hoopfest.
Sure, I was the first pick, the rookie to watch, and the back-to-back All-Star. But to get even better, I had to get real with myself. I got real about how I showed up. I got real about how I trained. I got real about what I ate. The results, something about this season, man, it just feels different.
I will have no regrets. All the things that went wrong. For I have
Well, we expected a defensive battle between Compass and Veritas. That's exactly what we've gotten a little less than halfway through the second quarter. Compass 17, Veritas 12. 35% shooting for Compass. Veritas only at 33%. Denning, what I was going to touch on before the break, we were discussing the fact that Compass was having to force shots up with under 5 on the shot clock, 3 possessions in a row. And that's kind of taken a page out of their book because Veritas' defense every bit as scrappy as Compass's was yesterday.
I mean, how much did we see that yesterday in that Link game? It felt like every Link possession, it was down to 5 or less by the time they were looking to initiate offense or put a shot up. So, yeah, definitely a page out of the book, and a little bit surprised to see Compass struggling this much offensively. They are just 1 for 5 from behind the arc. They have gotten to the free throw line a couple times, but I've been impressed with what Veritas has done on this end of the floor.
Give Veritas credit. They were beaten by 23 yesterday, out-rebounded, doubled up, in fact, by Sunrise, 30-15, but they've bounced back and playing well, playing hard here this afternoon and trying to finish salvaging a split in this Air Capital Hoopfest from Wichita.
I mean, that's what it comes down to for Veritas because they are going to be outsized. You know, they are going to be this smaller team against each one of these opponents, so they have to play hard. They have to bring it at 110% to hang around.
Nice move by Jeremiah Green. Flat-footed, elevating in the paint to get 2. He's up to 6 points. It was a day yesterday dominated by the House brothers, but not so far today for Compass. They've had some other nice parts stepping in.
That was Jaden Vance again, flying over to contest late there on Asari, and then Vance adds 3 more.
Well, he earned that. Playing hard at one end, rewarded with an open 3 at the other, and he buries it. And Vance continues to stay perfect this season in EYBL play from outside the arc, Denning.
This might be our guy right now. It's super early, still a lot to be decided, but I would say he's our early front runner for our player of the game.
Offensive foul for Veritas. Vance is 6 for 6 on the season now in EYBL play from outside the arc. He's 4 for 4 this weekend.
He's just done all the little things right. Winning plays that we talked about with guys like Caden House and Kalick House. He's played great defense. He's played good help defense too, which I've been very impressed by. It's not just walling up against the ball handler that you're assigned to. I would say that what impresses me about Compass on the defensive end is that they are very connected. It is a unit rather than just 5 guys out there each guarding somebody.
Green, nice move into the lane for Randall, who throws it down. And Veritas needs a timeout as they have now been doubled up on the scoreboard, 24-12. And Denning, there's Nicholas Randall again. A great dish, give Green credit. But how about Randall and the job he's done filling in at the post from Murinen when called on this weekend?
Well, Randall has touch. He's got some range out into the extended perimeter area, but he's at his best when he's down low. I mean, he is a big guy. He's got that physical element to him. There's a reason he's going to Missouri. He's got that skill set, but he has been a force in these 2 games. Good find as well from Green to draw the double team and then make the easy dump off there.
Boy, this Compass teams can frustrate Murinen all they want, but if they're going to get this kind of production from Randall, then that's going to make things very difficult for opponents. to stop this Compass team that's now 4-6 in the EYBL after yesterday's win over Link. Compass had 3 different players in double figures yesterday, Denning. They shot 53% from the field. Held Link to just 37%. Today, Veritas is shooting 31% from the field, 6 of 19 so far, including 0 for 4 from outside the three-point line.
And they have to shoot it to stick around in this game. There's really no other way to say it. Veritas is not going to score 40 points in the paint. They've had some good buckets down there. Guerrero Hernandez operating in that mid-lane area. I like to see it, but he and Soki Urbano have to shoot.
Guerrero Hernandez tries to find some offense, and I believe he stepped out of bounds. He got in amongst all the trees, and we lost him, but it appears that's what happened. It seems like that's been a move in the game of basketball that's become a lot more common. Guards driving right underneath the baseline and running out of space. Trying to find a kick out. Instead, they run out of room. Vance started it in, backs it out now. Out on the wing. Here comes Green, shaking, baking. Up to Vance, down to House. At the shot clock, buzzer, and he buries it.
The extra pass there from Vance.
And it was another possession where the shot clock wound down, but this time Compass had a good look, and Kalik House buries the three, 27-12, now Compass.
We talked a ton about Caden House. I feel like we maybe haven't given Kalik his due. He's a 4-star, but still getting a lot of high major attention. Schools like Michigan, Washington, TCU, Kansas on his list. And this very easily would have been 2 the other way for Caden without the foul call, but late whistle there.
Ashure in the paint lays it up and good. He was hounded by Vance and just pump faked and waited for him to land and then feathered it in.
I like Asari. I feel like he gives you that mobility down low. He's shown decent enough hands that when he catches it on the move, he can still adjust and finish, even with some other big bodies down there. I think he's got some potential to his game.
Randall misses 7 points for Asari yesterday. 5 of them came from the free throw line.
I mean, he certainly has the physicality, right? Like you look at Kofi Asari and you see a guy who has the body to play at the Division I level, to be certain.
Ryan Solhe falls over and travels. He thought he got fouled, but he's not going to get that whistle. Miernan back into the game for Compass. He's in for Randall.
A little grab on the hip there of Solhe, but no call. And these games tend to be pretty physical, Steve, so it's not unheard of to see that one. They let that one go.
Final 40 seconds of the first half. Jeremiah Green will operate out near midcourt, now throws right side over to Vance. Down in the corner, they'll find Green, missed three-pointer with 15 seconds left. Now here comes Veritas crossing midcourt with a chance to play for the final shot.
Let's see what they want to run here. They've only got 10 seconds to operate with.
Urbano fading away, can't get going. A couple of tips, and the second one is good by Asari again. We've been talking about him. He finishes with a basket and a tip in and puts his team within 11. So nice hustle by Veritas. And after that last timeout that George Zidane called, Denning, Veritas makes a little run to pull back within 11.
Titans hanging around in this basketball game. Asari's been a big reason why. Second consecutive bucket for him down low, and some momentum heading into the break for the Titans.
All right, we have reached the half. Game number 1 of this doubleheader on a Saturday from the Air Capital Hoopfest. The score, Compass from Arizona 27 and Veritas 16. You're watching Nike EYBL Scholastic at the Air Capital Hoopfest. Welcome back to the Air Capital Hoopfest. Steve Strain, Denny Gehrig with you from Newman University in Wichita, Kansas. Right now it is Compass 27 and Veritas 16 at the break. And Denny, we expected a lot of defense in this game. We've seen a lot of defense, and the statistics certainly reflect that.
Yeah, that was part of our pregame analysis, Steve, was how would Veritas score against this length of the Compass defense that presented so many problems yesterday in their win against Link. And Veritas has not been able to shoot it from the perimeter. As you can see, they have yet to make a three-point field goal. They're not making it to the line, and so it's been a struggle for them. But they have gotten a couple of second chance points. As you can see, they are winning the rebounding battle by a slim margin and just kind of hanging around in this basketball game. They're in a significantly better place than they were yesterday at halftime in their game against Sunrise.
No question about that. We'll see if they can make a run down by 11 as we're moments away from the start of the third quarter, and there you can see some of that Compass defense, although Kofi Asari certainly had his moments in the first half. We've been impressed with him.
Yeah, yesterday it was Soki Urbano. In today's game, it's Asari who's been active in cutting to the basket. He's cleaned up a couple of rebounds for putbacks as well, and it's been the guards who have impressed me. Meanwhile, for AZ Compass, Jeremiah Green does so many things for them in terms of getting the offense moving. We, of course, have sung the praises of Caden House and Kalick House, but Jaden Vance has also been a standout. I'm not sure if I'd call him a guard, more of a wing at 6'6", but his defense has been one of the real highlights in this contest so far.
Leading the way in scoring for Compass, they've actually got two players, Green and Jaden Vance, each with 6. Caden House with 5, 3 each for Zaire Richardson and Kalick House, and then a couple for Mika Murinen and for Nicholas Randall Denning. Everybody who's played for Compass has scored in this game. That's 7 players. All of them have scored, so they've also spread it around pretty well.
Yeah, I like the depth. I like the balance. All of these guys, Steve, are capable on any given night of being the player, of being the star. Everyone out here is talented. They would be the best player on their high school team if they were still at the local level, but you step it up to these national teams and you have to be willing to share the basketball. There's only one ball. There's 5 guys out there who can all be scorers, so it does require a little bit of give and take and good balance up to this point from the Dragons.
We talked about in the open the need for Veritas to have around Soki Urbano having a big scoring day if they are to stay in this game, and so far, Denning, he is scoreless. 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 2 from distance, and they've gotten some help to contribute, but he's still got to get going, you would think, if they're going to stay in this game.
Yeah, and it was his shooting yesterday that kept them even remotely within striking distance of Sunrise. I will say this about the Titans. We spoke at length. They give up a 27-0 run to Sunrise. Not a great place to be. They outscored Sunrise in the second half, 32-31, and Urbano was a big reason why. He had 5 3-pointers. So he's a guy who can heat up. He basically just needs to see the ball go through the basket.
Compass trying to get Murinen going, but he lost the ball and now has to give it off to Caden House. And House will circle it around, toss it up to brother Kalick, who's got it again. Open 3, short. And boy, Murinen gets thrown to the ground, and it's going to be a foul on Veritas. It's a big battle with Asure and Murinen, and Kofi Asure from the United Kingdom, 6'9", called for the foul.
Asari trying to pull the hands back at the last second, pleading his innocence. But yeah, those are 2 big dudes just tangling down low and fighting for that rebound. And also there is a Titan shaken up underneath the basket.
That is Samuel Mina, it is. And he is slow to get up.
I didn't see on that replay what happened to him.
He looks a little, almost disoriented. Maybe there's some blood. I think there is some blood, and that's why he didn't want to move, trail blood anywhere.
Yeah, he caught it was kind of a flailing hand from Murinen, who was falling backwards and just popped him right in the nose.
So I'll have to clean that up before we can continue.
Obviously no ill intent there from Murinen, just a pure accident from him. He had no idea that Mina was behind him. Oh, that's a tough shot. Tough kid.
Samuel Mina, 6'5" senior out of Columbia. Hopefully he will be all right.
I think this is one of those deals, since there's blood on the floor, they will have to sterilize it before they can resume play here. Can't just wipe that up with a towel and go, so this will take a second, I think.
27-16. This happened just 22 seconds into the third quarter. As you can see, the official helping clean up some of the damage. And this is going to take a minute because they've got somebody else from the Newman University staff that's got some of the sterilizer you were talking about, Denny.
Listen,
tell you what, let's take a timeout. We'll come back. You won't miss anything. Back in a moment. This is the Nike EYBL Scholastic Air Capital Hoopfest.
So how would you describe the chicken to someone who had never tasted it?
Literally melt in your mouth tender. We don't have a freezer, you know? It's almost like a farmer's market. When you walk into the restaurant, you should hear the sizzle that you're hearing right now. Just sends all those waves up to your mouth.
You're making me hungry.
No regret. No, I will have no regret. All the things that went wrong. For I have learned.
Brisket is back at Chipotle. Seasoned, smoked, seared, spiced, sauced, bold, and guacced. It's a whole new kind of brisket done the Chipotle way.
All right, looks like we've got the blood cleaned up on the baseline so we can return to action. 22 seconds into the second half. Compass on top by 11, and now Compass trying to inbound the basketball after the Asari foul, and they get it in to Caden House.
shout out to the Newman training staff for the quick work on the blood cleanup.
Indeed.
Watching us CSI Miami, you know what you're supposed to do in those situations. Good job, everybody.
House up over Asari. How about that touch? Having to rainbow that lay-in up off the glass.
Over a shot blocker, too. That's not just a layup uncontested. There is a high hand coming over to really make that a difficult finish. And really well done from Caden House.
He's up to 7 points now. And Asari at the other end answers with a dunk. I think he had a couple of words from Urinan, too, on his way down.
Definitely had a stare down at the end of that play. Once again, though, it's Guerrero Hernandez driving the ball. I think this offense for Veritas is much better when he is attacking the basket.
Urinan knocked down to the floor, had the ball stripped away. He's got to get back and play defense. Boy, he's had two teams now, Link and then this Veritas team, really do a number on him defensively. Guerrero Hernandez fading away short, but tipped back up and in.
Sari is everywhere right now. He is on the boards. He is mobile. He's setting screens. He's just controlling the painted area for Veritas and has made this a competitive basketball game again.
He's also into double figures now with 10. Urinan for three. A little long. Gets his own rebound. Compass will reset. Green crosses over, reverse in the lane, no good. He got bumped into and fouled. He'll go to the line.
Well, I think Veritas had a chance earlier in this possession. It was a long miss that bounced out, and Asari had started to leak out like he was going to start a one-man fast break, but it bounced all the way out to Murnin and allowed Compass to reset. Eventually, Green draws the foul and gets a couple free throws out of it.
And the Texas A&M signee knocks down the first free throw. One thing about Compass, Denning, in spite of the struggles for Murnin, their coach Peter Cappy has to be pleased with the balance this team has produced today. They've got a couple players with 7 points, another with 6. I mentioned earlier that everybody that's played for them has scored, and they've really spread it around pretty evenly.
They moved the ball generally pretty well. It was something that impressed me yesterday against Link. The ball doesn't stick very often for them. They've got good movement off the ball too, which gives them some available passes.
So he's stuck near the top of the key, nearly traveled after he gathered. Now shot clock's under 10. Shot clock's at 2. Asari's got it. Oh, and a foul going to be called on House, and he can't believe it. Or was it Randall? It was Randall.
It's still one of those fouls, though, Steve, where you don't need to commit that. What's Asari going to do from 26 feet away with 2 on the shot clock? You know, just stay in front of him there, make him do something crazy. We've sung Asari's praises in this game, but he's operated mostly within 3 to 5 feet of the basket.
So Veritas gets bailed out. Fresh shot clock now for the Titans. Let's see what they can do with it, down by 11. That was the halftime deficit. Urbano, one of his best looks today, and he capitalizes.
Like we said, a great shooter on the move, Steve. He can catch it, and even though his body's kind of floating, he still gets himself oriented enough that he is online. And Veritas still in this basketball game. Good-looking shot from their top scorer.
Caden House on the run. Count it with a foul. What a shot by Caden House. Talking about shooting on the run, he did it there. Floated it in, and he'll go to the line.
He's got this feel about him, Steve, of when to go all the way in with this attack of the basket, when to pull up and take that little floater. He saw Asari looming there and said, I'm just going to take this. I've got enough space to get this off. Late contact from Zabuda on the trail side of him. Good job putting that one in despite the foul.
Offensive rebound, though, off the missed free throw for Compass. So a break for Compass here as they can try now for a 4 or 5 point trip down the floor. Randall spinning, fouled. He'll go to the line. Mania came in to help. That'll send Compass to the line.
Mena trying to come over with the swipe, but got a lot of arm on Nick Randall.
This is where Randall lived yesterday. All 7 of his points yesterday came at the charity stripe. And he knocks the first one down.
They say his nickname is Butta. So smooth looking jumper.
Yeah.
I still feel like he's at his best as more of a kind of a traditional post. Let his size do some work, but he can operate as a pick and pop guy. I think he has the range to stretch it out to the perimeter. He's just skilled, and a lot of these guys you'll see over the course of 2 days here in Wichita are going to be impact players at the next level.
And his next level will be the SEC.
Headed to Columbia.
Guerrero Hernandez fading away, baseline, got it.
Tough shot. That was a pretty good contest, and that's where the 6'5" Guerrero Hernandez shows why he's starting to get some big-time college offers too. Just rising up over his defender, it didn't really matter.
Averages 12 per game. He's sitting at 8 right now. Randall outside the arc, tosses up top. Vance off to Green. Shot clock winding down again. Randall had it partially blocked, gets it back, puts it back up, no good. Gets it again, 3rd time's the charm.
Good job sticking with it from Randall. First it was Urbano coming from the backside with the block, but he just hung around and was able to make the 3rd time the charm.
Boy, a heavily contested 3, heaved up very early in the shot clock by Zabuda, and that starts a break. Here comes House. He'll go to the line and shoot 2 more. Boy, not a good series that time for Veritas. A very ill-advised shot to start that fast break.
Yeah, bad shot leads to bad defensive possession. It basically just created a run-out opportunity for Compass. You can see Sogi Urbano just said, I don't have a lot to do here. I'm just gonna grab House on the way by.
All right, media timeout, 3rd quarter. Compass continues to hold a double-digit lead. You're watching Nike EYBL Scholastic at the Air Capital Hoopfest.
Sure, I was the first pick, the rookie to watch, and the back-to-back All-Star. But to get even better, I had to get real with myself. I got real about how I showed up. I got real about how I trained. I got real about what I ate. The results, something about this season, man, it just feels different.
I will have no regrets. All the things that went wrong for us, I have learned to
George Zidane's Veritas Titans started the third quarter down by 11. They've seen that deficit grow by a point to 12, but hanging around, as you talked about, Denning, and this Veritas team doing a good job of that. But the question is, can they get on that run? That's something they have a hard time doing, a team that only averages 52 points per game starting the weekend.
It's just a matter of stringing together stops for them. I mean, they got to within 8 after the three-pointer from Soki Urbano and then immediately give up a three-point opportunity on this end, an offensive rebound that led to more second-chance points, and all of a sudden 8 turned right back into 12. And so they have shown their flashes, obviously. They've stayed in this game, but can they consistently put together stops?
Caden House with that made free throw, the first Compass player to get into double figures. He's got 10. Joining Kofi Asari of Veritas with 10 points as well. Those are the only 2 double-digit scorers so far. Mohamed Bamad is into the game. First time we've seen him. 6'9" senior out of Morocco. Denning talked about yesterday, boy, the wide range of international players for Veritas, and there's one we have not seen as of yet until now. Guerrero Hernandez. He's got it at the top of the arc.
He's going to have to create here.
Now he's going to have to shoot on the fly with the shot clock winding down and a shot clock violation.
That was stellar defensive work on him. Kalik House is going to get a lot of the credit there, but also Nick Randall coming over with a good hedge that made it so Guerrero Hernandez didn't have any options getting rid of the basketball there.
I beg your pardon, Bama did play a few minutes in the first half, scoreless though. And Compass will now look at some zone pressure applied by Veritas. Green circles it around, now Randall at the high post. Hands off to House, bumped into. And the shot clock, like a broken record, is down low again, and a jump ball. Good defense, Veritas. They'll get the basketball.
Well, as good as House is, there's not many decisions for him to make when this shot clock's down to 3 and he's 26 feet away. He tried to slither his way through all those white jerseys, but Bamad was able to get hands in there and force the tie-up.
Soki Urbano trying to get going. Just one field goal today and 3 points. Now Guerrero Hernandez. Back to Urbano. He's guarded well. He'll shoot on the run, though, and it's no good.
Right on line, but a little bit short. Good late contest as he tried to get that shot off.
Once again, the shot clock is going to wind down, it appears, before Compass will get a look. Flying in for a layup, no good. Bama, the rebound. Here comes Veritas the other way. Vance fouls Soki Urbano up high.
Well, you just know that it's at the top of the scouting report on these dribble handoffs that Soki Urbano is going to rise up and take a jumper. And so he's going to have opportunities to drive the basketball off those handoff actions. And in that case, just got a half step on Vance, who was kind of forced into a hook there.
Boy, for a team that plays as aggressive defensively as Compass does, that's just their second team foul this quarter, which is almost over. 1:16 left.
Yeah, they did not foul very much at all. Veritas has not made it to the free throw line. Just one attempt from the charity stripe for them today. And as we say it, another foul. That's just
Wouldn't you know it?
Yep.
We'll take two more, though, before Veritas gets into the bonus with 1:13 left in the quarter now. Soki Urbano catching, shooting, scoring. That's what we're used to seeing from him.
I'm fascinated to see what that guy's career is going to look like, because he can play high-level college basketball with his shooting ability. He is a difficult shot maker.
Randall was in the paint trying to gather, and there was all kinds of contact on him, and I think they whistled one of the Titans for a foul. And it was before he caught to shoot, but Compass is in the bonus.
Now watch Bamad here. He gets in front of Randall and is able to get a hand on this pass.
Little hook and hold.
But then just pops up into the air for Randall, and Bamad honestly probably made the smart foul there.
Randall misses the first free throw. Was his first miss today, though, in 3 attempts. And he goes 0 for 2. Final 48 seconds of the third quarter. Compass by 11 now, 39-28. That was their halftime lead. Guerrero Hernandez with a left hand all the way in, makes it look easy.
No help there from Compass. A rare defensive breakdown from them, and Guerrero Hernandez always in attack mode. He has been much more aggressive driving the ball today to his benefit. 10 points, 5 assists for him as well.
About 7 seconds separate the game clock and the shot clock, which is down to 10. Caden House, top of the key, shaking, baking, fading. No good, and a foul on the rebound. Going to be called on Veritas. Boy, that's a big break for Compass, Denning. Veritas was about to start transition with 7 seconds left in the quarter. Instead, free throws ahead for Compass.
Well, it's always going to be a challenge for Veritas trying to rebound against this much bigger AZ Compass team, and Randall is probably the biggest guy out there. He is just taking up space in the lane, and another one of those kind of hook and hold situations as he was battling for that board.
Fortunately for Randall and Compass, that's now 3 straight misses at the line for him. And he's good on the next. 5 seconds left. Here's Urbano handing it out to Guerrero Hernandez with 2, with 1. Wild shot on the run, no good. And the third quarter comes to a close. Veritas able to scratch 1 point off the 11-point halftime deficit as we head to the fourth and final quarter. 40-30 Compass with the lead. You're watching Nike EYBL Scholastic at the Air Capital Hoopfest.
So how would you describe the chicken to someone who had never tasted it?
Literally melt in your mouth tender. We don't have a freezer, you know? It's almost like a farmer's market. When you walk into the restaurant, you should hear the sizzle that you're hearing right now. Just sends all those waves up to your mouth.
You're making me hungry.
No regrets. No, I will have no regrets. All the things that went wrong for us, I have learned.
Brisket is back at Chipotle. Seasoned, smoked, seared, spiced, sauced, bold, and guacced. It's a whole new kind of brisket done the Chipotle way.
Good crowd this afternoon at Newman University in Wichita as we're ready for quarter number 4 of the Nike EYBL Scholastic Air Capital Hoopfest. Steve Strain and Denning Garrick with you. Denning, we talked to Sunrise, the host school, Coach Kyle Lindstedt, about this event this weekend and a chance for his team to be showcased, which they will next, in front of folks that might come here but might not necessarily see them play at Sunrise. And we have had a good turnout for two teams that aren't local so far.
It has been good, Steve, but I still feel like Wichita as a whole doesn't have a great concept of what this event is and how cool it is to have players of this caliber right here in the 316. I mean, there are guys in the class of 25, there are guys in the class of 26 littered in the ESPN top 100 and top 60 rankings. All these guys you're going to be seeing at high major programs in the years to come. How cool to say, oh yeah, I saw that guy play at Newman before he was playing at Duke, before he was playing at UConn, before he was playing at North Carolina. And so would love to see Wichita continue to embrace this event because it is a really unique opportunity.
Just take Sunrise alone. They've produced the likes of Buddy Hield of the Golden State Warriors, Grady Dick of the Toronto Raptors, many more. Foul to start the fourth quarter on Veritas. They put Compass in the bonus with plenty of time to spare in the third quarter, Denning, and not off to a good start in that department here.
Let's see where the contact was. Yeah, I mean, he got him across the arm as Green was driving in there. It's a pretty easy call.
Kalick House for three from the left corner. He had one in the first half and starts the fourth quarter with one as well.
It's so interesting to compare his game to Caden's. I think Kalick is probably a little better shooter. Caden is so shifty and navigating to the basket, but Kalick has this mentality about him as a shooter where it looks like it's going in every time it leaves his hand.
Vance called for the foul. So each team with a foul here to start quarter number 4 with Compass on top by 13, 43-30.
Soki Urbano tried to lobby his way into a shooting foul there. He went ahead and walked to the line just in case he could get that call.
Oh, Guerrero Hernandez with the backhand off the window and in.
This was a guy, Steve, who went just 3 for 9 from the field yesterday, but he has been a different beast today. Well into double figures already and leading this Veritas team in scoring.
Compass very patiently running their offense, and then a bad-looking shot off the glass. Muirn the rebound. The shot clock resets. That did not draw iron.
Nope.
I don't believe. Kalick House, shot blocked by who else? Guerrero Hernandez. Here he comes again. Left-hand layup is good.
14 points now for Guerrero Hernandez in addition to the 5 assists and 3 boards. And once again, it's a single-digit ball game. Every time it feels like AZ Compass is going to pull away, Veritas has had an answer.
Fading away. Vance no good. Rattled in and out. Rebound Compass, or Veritas. Now Guerrero Hernandez appears to be the go-to guy. What a spin off the window there. Are you kidding me?
Up and under, through the traffic. My goodness. That was special from Juan Guerrero Hernandez.
He has taken the place of Soki Urbano as the go-to guy for Veritas today. Caden House high with the right hand off the window. Wanted a whistle. He didn't get it. Instead, he's down and he's hurt. And this is not good. Caden House is in a lot of pain. He wanted a foul right there, didn't get it, and then he goes down and he's holding the left leg.
I think it's just a cramp. Looks like they are rolling out that right calf area where he already has some wrap on, so likely an area that it's been problematic for him leading into this game. Veritas was upset that they didn't have the opportunity to play 5-on-4 there for a second, but the officials have the ability to stop play if a basket is made and there's kind of a natural pause in the action, so I think the officials handled that pretty well, all things considered.
I think Compass was upset because there was a lot of contact, too, when he went airborne.
Everybody was upset. Everyone just needs to calm down for a second.
Here it is again, Denning. Take a look. See if you think there could have been a foul called right here. I mean, the right arm came in from Sol. He grabbed the left arm of House.
I could see it being a foul. I could see them letting it play. Like we said, these games have been physical. They've let a lot go. You want to give these guys a chance to play. You don't want to sit here and watch 45 free throws. So I don't have a huge issue with them swallowing the whistle from time to time. It would appear George Sedan does not share my thoughts on that, but I'm all right with it. Let's play basketball.
Loose ball, scramble for it, and finally the officials, did they say jump ball or have they called a foul?
Haven't seen an indication.
Thought they were going to call a jump ball. Veritas got a timeout. So Veritas did get a timeout, and this will turn into our fourth quarter media timeout. So we'll take a break with Veritas hanging around. They trail by 9. And you're watching Nike EYBL Scholastic at the Air Capital Hoopfest.
You're really making all of this by hand.
Oh yeah, the avocados are hand mashed, the chips are hand tossed, and everything is made fresh.
You make it fresh every day.
Yes, every day. The Chipotle way is we make it fresh every day.
Sounds delicious.
No regret. No, I will have no regret. All the things that went wrong for us, I have learned.
Brisket is back at Chipotle. Seasoned, smoked, seared, spiced, sauced, bold, and guacced. It's a whole new kind of brisket done the Chipotle way.
Nike EYBL Scholastic is brought to you by Nike. This is winning basketball and delivered by Chipotle. Real ingredients, real flavor. Chipotle for real. Steve Strangton and Gary with you as we have 5.5 minutes left in this one. Compass 45, Veritas 36, and Denning. Veritas is hanging around, but it's getting down time where they need to make a run.
Well, it is, and it's concerning if you're on the Titans side of things because you've only made 2 3-pointers in this game. So how do you make up a 9-point deficit in 5.5 minutes without a little bit of help from the tray ball? So they're going to have to find ways to either score quickly or expand it out to the perimeter, which has not been their strong suit as of yet today.
They've done a good job of forcing Compass to take a lot of clock each possession, but they're going to have to find a way also to speed Compass up offensively.
They've shown a little token pressure throughout this game, so we'll see if that starts to become another element.
Errant pass, but bailed out. Guerrero Hernandez is there, misses the shot, and we may have a jump ball again. We do. But I say again, it was a timeout last time here. And Murinen's getting a little handsy with some of the Veritas players, and a lot of jawing going on.
Good job by the officiating crew as well as the staff for Veritas to kind of get in the way and separate those two before it escalated.
Randall's going to come into the game for Murinen. He leaves now 1 of 6 from the field, 2 points today and just 4 points yesterday. Compass is finding a way without him, but that's not what we expected when they came in yesterday.
Hasn't been his tournament, has it, Steve? He's shown flashes, but for the most part, he hasn't been a huge factor in these games.
Whitfield Ching Jr. with a basketball. He scored the only bench point for Veritas yesterday.
That's amazing.
Guerrero Hernandez, how about that? A little post up for the guard.
Well, he has cut without the ball brilliantly today, Steve. He has found these little pockets of space, and credit to the teammates, too, always keeping a head up. Makes himself available at 6'5" and has found some open spots.
Look at Caden House flying through, up and under, and good. Just flying through the air gracefully, Denning, and he lays it in.
He's got this shiftiness about him. Look at that, splitting two defenders in midair and still able to get the and one. He has been a star in these two games. Like we said, his brother Kalick is the 4-star, Caden's a 5-star, and he has been every bit of it.
You weren't aware? The House brothers, son of former NBA star Eddie House, and nephews of former NBA star Mike Bibby. Compass has a double-digit lead again, and a block shot by Kalick House, I believe, swatted that one down to Randall. Now Compass will not work some clock. Bit of a surprise there, and a missed three.
Veritas has to go now. 10-point game, 4 minutes. It's got to happen now or never.
Top of the key three, Solhe buries it. We've got a 7-point game.
And they're going to tee him up. I think they got him for some kind of a hand signal after the three.
Boy, if they do call a technical, that would be huge. After a made three, cut the deficit down to 7. I think I did see technical foul called.
Yep. It's going to be a couple free throws for AZ Compass.
Boy,
that's just a killer for Veritas. You know, you get right back to within 7.
Boy, George Sedan is irate at the officials for that. And he has been ejected from the game, Denning. Boy, and just when this team got it down to 7, a double technical foul, Zidane is gone. And now an assistant coach has been teed up.
Wow. We're gonna see about 12 consecutive free throws here for AZ Compass on the heels of a game that has gone completely off the rails now.
A game that was just about to get a little more interesting.
So George Zidane is arguing that AZ Compass had made the exact same hand gesture towards him and his bench earlier in the game. I don't believe he got ejected. I think he just got one technical, so he's still in the game. But that was the reason for how irate Veritas was with that call.
So 6 free throws ahead for Caden House. And I was off air trying to make the case for Guerrero Hernandez, even probably in a losing effort, being the player of the game today. But Caden House, Denning, is about to and just did surpass him in points scored today with these free throws. And he's making them all so far.
Kind of unfortunate all the way around. And 6 consecutive free throws that very well might just turn this game from, you know, a close contested finish down the stretch to a little bit more comfortable for AZ Compass. Well done from House, going 6 for 6 there. That's tough to do, but this all of a sudden is a 13-point game.
He went from the second leading scorer in the game to leading everybody by 4. He's 12 of 13 now from the stripe after going 6 for 6. And Veritas' lead has gone from 7 to 13 after the 6 free throws. And now a 30-second timeout's been called.
I'll just say this, Steve. You know, it's the officials' job to keep these games in order. I've seen a lot worse as far as after a play celebrations than what got teed up on that Solheed 3. Again, it's their job to make sure that nothing untoward happens and to keep this game in line, but I feel like we've seen some excessive celebrations over the course of 2 days here in Wichita, and that's the first one that has drawn a technical foul that ultimately leads into 2 more tees.
Agreed. These kids play with emotion, and if things don't get out of hand, which it didn't appear they were on the verge of it, let them celebrate a little. Let's see if we can pick up what happened.
Yeah, I mean,
he pointed the gun over there.
I get it. I get why it's a tee, for sure. My point, I guess, would be we've also seen that like 5 other times.
From the other team.
Yeah, not necessarily from AZ Compass in this one specifically, but just throughout these games. So you could argue where's the consistency on a call like that, but I don't have any problem with an official saying, hey, that's an inappropriate gesture.
Fourth team foul on Veritas.
The NFL is dealing with this same issue. I don't know if you followed some of their personal foul penalties, but they have really cracked down on the pointing after first downs in anything that resembles a weapon.
Now Compass appears to be interested in working some clock, up by 13. That's Green underneath the Randall, posting up. Good defense underneath by Asure.
Randall had a good chance down low there, and it comes right back the other way with Soki Urbano. And don't go anywhere. We're right back to 10.
Well, think about where we'd be if there weren't 6 technical free throws.
Absolutely.
We'd have a 4-point game.
Well, and just when we said, too, Veritas has had issues shooting it from beyond the arc. They bury a couple in a row. They need stops, though.
Kayla Kaus says, what the heck? I've got an opening. Air ball, but a rebound underneath by Compass. And now Kayla Kaus has the ball. The shot clock reset. And the ball never hit the rim. We have seen that all weekend inning.
I don't have a great explanation for that one. There wasn't even a shot.
Kayla Kaus shot the air ball, but it was an air ball. We saw that especially in the Compass game yesterday, where shot clocks were resetting on air balls or balls that only hit glass.
This is a fun matchup to watch here. Guerrero Hernandez guarded by House.
Approaching the 2-minute mark left in the game.
Now Compass is more than happy to run some clock. They can take this well under 2 minutes.
Kayla Kaus started in, circles it back out wisely.
Becomes pretty much a must stop from this point on for Veritas.
Nice crossover. Left wing 3 is up and no good by Green, but Compass chases down the rebound. And another rebound as well for Caden House, just continuing to pad his stats here in the fourth quarter.
Tough deal there for Soki Urbano. He put himself into a position for a box out, and then it's just a long rebound that's over his head. And, with House's athleticism, he's got a good chance to run that down.
Green into the lane. Good defense by Asari. Rebound Veritas. They need to run and will. And a goaltending on Miranin.
So it's down to 8, but a minute 18 to go. Veritas definitely going to have to press full court here, and they're probably going to have to start fouling. You just have to pick your poison on who you want to go after for a foul.
Compass has not made a field goal in a while, or Silky Urbano just got called for a foul. And again, Denning, I hate to keep harping on it, but this would only be a 2-point game had it not been for 6 technical fouls shot and made by Compass.
Soki Urbano going for the strip there, taking a risk at it, and might have had a lot of ball there, but Now you get a very good free throw shooter going to the line in Kayla Kaus, probably one of the guys that AZ Compass would want at the stripe in this situation.
82% when the weekend started. Nothing but net on the first. With Caden on those 6 in a row, I don't know that any of those touched much iron, if at all.
I got to see those two brothers have a free throw contest. Like, how far do you go before somebody misses? You're into 30s and 40s.
They're a combined 14 of 15 today.
Crazy.
1 minute remaining.
A missed shot underneath by Ching Jr., but he got fouled. He'll go to the line.
Like you said, Steve, I think we're probably going to end up going a different direction for player of the game, but I'll just get this out there now that Juan Guerrero Hernandez has played tremendous basketball. He'll get our strong honorable mention. That was a good feed there. He won't get an assist with the free throws, but 20 points, 6 helpers, 3 boards. He has really done his part to keep the Titans within shouting distance.
Had a block shot to his stat line as well for the guard. Free throw misses, ball out of bounds. Veritas indeed will press and likely foul, as Denning talked about a moment ago. In the backcourt, here's Green. He'll get it across the midcourt stripe and now likely slow it up. Soki Urbano fouls with 41 seconds left. Sunrise and Link coming up after this one, as the host Sunrise Academy tries to make it a clean sweep after knocking off this Veritas team yesterday.
AZ Compass just has so many guys who can handle the ball in these late game situations. They make it difficult to press them. You know, they got 4+ ball handlers on the court right now to close this game out, and then Murinen's 6'11", so he can function as kind of an outlet for you if you need it. It's just difficult to come back against a team like that.
And a team that's shooting at nearly 80% from the free throw line as well today.
That had been an issue for them this season leading into this tournament. Not today.
Guerrero Hernandez misses on the 3 and a foul on the rebound, and now 29 seconds left and Compass back to the line.
That'll pretty much do it here for Veritas. A much better showing for the Titans, though. I feel like we kind of discussed this at the end of their game yesterday. We were like, if they can see the ball go through the hoop a couple of times against Sunrise, get some good vibes going into tomorrow, we could see a better performance from them. I'd say we have. You know, they are outmanned and outgunned a little bit in terms of their roster with the size that they have. They're missing a couple of players, but a good showing for them here this afternoon.
And a nice bounce-back game for Guerrero Hernandez, who only scored 6 points, not a factor at all yesterday, but definitely heard from here this afternoon, albeit in what's going to be a losing effort with Veritas down by 12 and the shot clock turned off. Soki Urbano knocks down the fadeaway. Timeout called by Veritas, trailing by 10 with 18 seconds left.
The problem for Veritas is they had their 3 guys putting up big numbers. Guerrero Hernandez 20, Soki Urbano double figures 11, Asari played well, 5 of 7 shooting, 10 points. Everybody else combined on the roster put up 8. So how do you find scoring beyond that trio? And that search will continue for the Titans.
A team that has been averaging 52.7 points per game coming into play starting last night. That's 12th in the EYBL. They are not even to their average yet here today. They still need a few more points to get there.
Be surprised to see Veritas still fouling here with 18 seconds left. Go for a quick trap and steal if you can get it, and if AZ Compass breaks the timeline, that's probably all she wrote.
There will be full court pressure applied by Veritas. Compass will roll into a couple of screens. Inbound comes to Green, and indeed looks like Veritas has called off the dogs. Kayla Kaus across midcourt. And now Richardson will dribble this thing out, and Compass will do it. A clean sweep for AZ Compass here in the Air Capital Hoopfest. Final score, AZ Compass 59 and Veritas 49. Compass improves to 5-6 on the season. Veritas falls to 3-6 in the EYBL. Time now for our player of the game. Let's take a look at our Nike player of the game, and it's an easy one going away now. Caden House with a huge fourth quarter. Finishes with 22 points on the night, 5 of 10 from the field, 12 of 13 from the free throw line, 6 boards, 3 assists, and a couple of steals. Boy, he did it all for this team again. And again, Juan Guerrero Hernandez, an honorable mention. He was the leading scorer in this game until House went to the free throw line and shot 6 straight. But boy, did House impress Denning. He was our player of the game in Compass's 2 games, both days.
Yeah, very thoughtful of him to let us and our production team reuse his graphic. That's just looking out for the guys in the truck. Love that from Caden House. Put up 19 yesterday, 22 today, and it was efficient too. He gets those points within the scope of the offense. That's what's so impressive about him and the defense. He really is the total package at the guard and the wing spot.
60-49, Compass will leave Wichita perfect here in this Air Capital Hoopfest. And credit to Veritas again for hanging around in this one despite some offensive woes, but just not enough this afternoon. Stay tuned, we'll have Sunrise and Link coming up after a while here from Wichita. For Denning Garrick, Steve Strain saying so long. Once again, our final score in the first game today, Compass 60, Veritas 49. We'll talk to you in about 30 minutes. So long, everybody.